In what is evolving into a tit-for-tat diplomatic war between the U.S. and China, the Chinese government remains defiant against the U.S. Here's One America's Rion.
The Chinese consulate in Houston, Texas, has long been viewed by the State Department as a hub for Chinese espionage, theft, and suppression of Chinese-American voices on U.S. soil. On Wednesday, the U.S. State Department put China on notice. China had until Friday to close its Houston consulate in the interests of protecting U.S. intellectual property and U.S. citizens. The Chinese government lashed out at the U.S., denying it had been stealing U.S. trade secrets. By Friday, the Chinese government declared it was, in retaliation, closing the U.S. embassy in Chengdu. Senior State and Justice Department officials told reporters in a background call Friday, Houston is just one hub of over 25 U.S. cities in which the Chinese Communist Party has engaged, quote, for years in massive illegal spying and influence operations throughout the United States against U.S. government officials and American citizens. In addition to illegal spying and theft, the Chinese Communist Party has also created an incentives-based system to further steal U.S. intellectual property and trade secrets, including medical and vaccine research. Senior State Department officials add this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to cracking down on China's unwillingness to act fairly with the United States. President Trump in a briefing told reporters this may not be the last embassy to close.
As far as closing additional embassies, it's always possible.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo on Thursday noted China is facing a new era, one that has little patience for iniquity under President Trump.
And so too, frankly, we built out a new set of policies at the State Department dealing with China, pushing President Trump's goals for fairness and reciprocity to rewrite the imbalances that have grown over decades. Just this week, we announced the closure of the Chinese consulate in Houston because it was a hub of spying and intellectual property theft.
And despite the growing tit-for-tat conflict defining U.S.-China relations, Secretary Pompeo expressed confidence the Trump administration would succeed in forcing a more reciprocal relationship between the two nations.
I have faith because the CCP is repeating some of the same mistakes that the Soviet Union made. Alienating potential allies, breaking trust at home and abroad, rejecting property rights and predictable rule of law. I have faith. I have faith because of the awakening I see among other nations that know we can't go back to the past.
Press Secretary McEnany reiterated Friday the U.S. position. There will be no tolerance under the Trump administration for theft and coercion on U.S. soil. Rion, One American News, the White House.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.